Exercise 3, working with a geodatabase to build a surface. This project is also in Chippewa counties. All of the files we need are in the Exercise 3 and 4 folder of the files that were provided. The DEM, or Digital Elevation Model files, are also included in the exercise folder, and they were obtained from the State LiDAR Data FTP site and then manipulated using ArcGIS. So now we'll go through part 1, importing a DEM with ADF files and creating a surface. So we're going to start a new drawing. And we're going to use the AutoCAD Civil 3D Imperial template file. And we'll save that as exercise 3. Now we're going to connect to the background aerial photo for Chippewa County using one of the methods described in the appendix. I will do that by using the Map Connect option and adding my WMS connection as we did earlier. At this point I need to down drag the server name, and this should already be populated. Once you do it once on your machine, then it shows up every time. We'll find that server, we'll select Connect. At this point we'll hit the Login button. And now we will down drag all the way to the bottom. The very last option, we'll select the 2010 color map. We'll click on Add to Map. And once we close out, the map should be there. We can zoom extents. We'll see what happened. We'll go to Map W space, turn it on, and that usually regenerates to bring the map in. So showing you that step I think is useful. Alright, now on to step 3. Before we do that, I think I'm going to turn off the map just so that it doesn't clog up my drawing. And to do that, again, I'll go to Map W space. I'll turn it on, and we'll just click this off so that it doesn't appear anymore, but it's hiding in the background. Now we'll move on to step 3. So now we're going to bring in the point file that was previously downloaded from the Exercise 3 folder. So on the Prospector tab, we'll right-click over the word Point Clouds, and we'll go to Create a Point Cloud. We'll accept this or put in something new here, and then we'll select Next. At this point, we're going to down drag and select an Esri ADF data file. And then we'll select on the plus sign here. At this point, we'll browse to the Exercise 3 and 4 files. We'll go to the Chippewa files and we'll select this DEM. We'll select all of these files and then select Open. Once we have those selected, they'll show up here. We'll select Next, and then we'll finish. Now the computer will give us a message that it's creating a point cloud. This will take a while. Once we close this message, it'll appear in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Now I'm going to pause this and move forward, but you working, this will take quite a while. So we'll join you again when the point cloud has been created. Again, this will take several minutes, so don't get nervous if it seems to take too long. A message will pop up shortly. So now you can see we've jumped forward, and now in the lower right-hand corner the message has changed and tells me that the point cloud has been created. If I select these words here, click here to zoom, it'll show me my point cloud. Again, if I want to change the name, I can come over here on the Prospector tab, expand the point clouds. We see here's the point cloud. I gave it the new name before, but at this point, if I want, I can right click, go to point cloud properties, and I can actually give it a real name. So we can call this LiDAR Data. Also note from this screen, I can change what the point cloud looks like. I can change it so that elevation ranges show. Any of these changes are going to actually take a while, but that's a nice way to look at the data. I can change the properties again so that it's just in grayscale. I can change the data one more time so that, let's say, I can see LiDAR point classifications. Again, that doesn't do much. I think what I'll do is I'll change it back to elevation ranges, and now we can at least see the points with a little bit more clarity. Next, we're in step 4. We're going to create the surface. So over here, under the point cloud listed in the prospector, we can right click on it and we're going to go to Add Points to Surface. At this point, we tell the computer what type of contours we want to show up. So you can see we have 2 foot and 10 foot. We could do 1 foot and 5 foot, or we could do 5 foot and 25. With LiDAR data, it's so, and especially in these areas, it's so flat that I think 1 foot and 5 foot is the best option. So we'll say next, and we'll simply select all of the defaults, and we'll finish. Again, now this is going to take a little bit of time. When it's created, the contour will appear. So now we can zoom in and you can see it. If I want to turn off those points because they're in the way of my contours, so now we're on step 5, I can go over and right click, go to point cloud properties, and I can change that to no display. And now I can see the contours clearly. To change the contour appearance, I can go to surfaces, and here's where the contours show up. Again, if I wanted to, I can go to the surface properties. I can change the name of that. And down here, I can change what shows up. So I have 1 and 5 foot contours shown. I can turn them off totally with the no display option. I can specify a 2 foot and 5 foot, or I could come down here and do some additional options that we won't cover in this class. So now I have the name of my surface specified, and I have the name of the LiDAR point cloud specified. And now I can move into any type of design using the surface.